Cool Hand Luke cast reveals what most fans never figured out. It's been called the ultimate anti-authority film, a performance that cemented Paul Newman as Hollywood's most magnetic rebel, a story that taught America the cost of breaking a man's spirit. Cool Hand Luke for generations of movie lovers, this tale of defiance in the face of crushing Cool Hand. Luke wasn't meant to be this way. Warner Brothers greenlit it as a standard prison drama. Entertaining, predictable, safe. But director Stuart Rosenberg and screenwriter Frank Pearson had other plans. Beneath the surface of chain gangs and Southern heat, they planted a defiant critique of authority, of control, of the crushing weight of conformity in post-war America. And Paul Newman? He saw it immediately. He didn't just play Luke, he understood him. Newman created an entire backstory for the character, one the film only hints at. A decorated war veteran, disillusioned by a country that turned its back on him after using him up. That's why Luke doesn't break, because he's already seen hell. Parking meters, prison rules, they meant nothing after war. That empty stare, that quiet rebellion, that wasn't just acting. That was Newman channeling something real, something broken and human. But the transformation wasn't his alone. George Kennedy, who played Dragline and won an Oscar for it, underwent a complete reinvention. Known for military roles and stiff authority figures, he had to become a different kind of leader, a brute with unexpected tenderness. He even gained weight, studied Southern prison culture, and created a full biography for Dragline. In his mind, Dragline had been locked up for over a decade, rising from scared inmate to prison yard king. And then Luke showed up and rewrote everything he thought he knew about power and dignity. And the sunglasses? You remember them, worn by the silent, stone-faced guard known only as Boss Godfrey. Those weren't just a prop. Morgan Woodward, the actor behind the shades, developed a chilling ritual. He isolated himself for hours before filming. Never spoke to the other actors, never smiled, never broke character. He wanted the prisoners to feel nervous around him, uncertain, vulnerable, small. He wasn't just playing a guard. He became the system, cold, unreadable, merciless. But here's what truly separates Cool Hand Luke from every other film of its era. They didn't shoot it on comfortable studio sets. They didn't fake the heat or the dirt. The cast worked in 100-degree California sun, hauling real rocks, paving real roads. Newman? He dug and filled actual graves, again and again. Those blistered hands and bleeding knuckles you see on screen, that's not makeup. That's the cost of authenticity. And there was a reason for that pain. Rosenberg wanted the cast to feel the pressure, the grind, the unrelenting weight of the system they were portraying. The temporary prison camp they built in Stockton, California, wasn't just a set. It was a psychological trap, cramped, hot, and stripped of comfort. Actors didn't just play prisoners. They lived like them, day after day. And when the cameras weren't rolling, they stayed in character. Newman insisted on keeping his uniform unwashed for the entire shoot. Kennedy skipped showers to maintain the grime. The stink, the sweat, it was all real. And that realism bled into the performances. Rosenberg often kept the camera rolling between takes, capturing unscripted moments. Quiet glances, inside jokes, spontaneous gestures. Over time, the cast developed their own prison yard hierarchy, their own code. What you're seeing in those scenes isn't just acting. It's lived-in chemistry. Camaraderie forged in heat, hardship, and exhaustion. You think that failure to communicate line was just a catchy bit of dialogue? Think again. Every beat of this film was deliberate, subversive. Luke isn't just a charming rebel. He's a Christ-like figure in chains, beaten, broken, crucified by a system that can't control him. And in the end, even in death, he doesn't give them the satisfaction of submission. The studio didn't see it coming. They thought they were releasing a prison flick. What they unleashed was a protest film. Quiet, powerful, unshakable. So next time you watch Cool Hand Luke, look closer. At the sweat dripping down Newman's face. At the silence behind Boss Godfrey's shades. At the dirt under every fingernail. This wasn't just a movie. It was a rebellion on film. And if you missed it before, well, you weren't supposed to. Until now.